YouTube. I don't care. So front better?
Front's better, because I'm not hearing it.
Yeah, you don't want lights in the back. No idea, but they're enjoying it.
Congratulate you for making it here tonight.
Can you get home is the issue.
Well, that's not my problem now, is it? Welcome to Making Renewables Work for Montana, Part 1. A panel discussion sponsored by 350 Montana and co-sponsored by Citizens Climate Lobby, Climate Smart Missoula, Faith and Climate Action Montana, Montana Environmental Information Center, Montana Farmers Union, Montana Renewable Energy Association, Northern Plains Resource Council, Sierra Club Montana Chapter, Northern Rockies Rising Tide, and the amazing Big Sky High School students, Friends United Against Climate Chaos. Give them a round of applause. So in the late 1980s, James Hansen became the first scientist to offer unassailable evidence that burning fossil fuels is heating up the planet. In the decades since, the world has warmed, the ice has melted, and the wildfires have spread. I'd like to start with a few excerpts from a recent Rolling Stone interview with James Hansen, the world's leading climate scientist, about the situation we find ourselves in. Quote, "In the US, we didn't face up to the dangers of World War II until we were forced to, and then we did a lot. But in this case, it's particularly difficult and crucial because of the inertia of the climate system and the fact that the climate system gains momentum, and you've got to stop that. It's a very powerful system. We're close to the point of no return. The liberal approach of subsidizing solar panels and windmills doesn't phase you off of fossil fuels. It never will. We need a revolutionary third party that takes no money from lobbyists. The energy system and the tax system have got to be simplified in a way that everyone understands and doesn't allow the wealthy few to completely rig the system or figure out how to live on a radically different planet." So let me briefly explain why we're having this event tonight. This is no longer his quote, by the way, in case you didn't guess. Northwest Energy, Montana's largest utility, recently put out a plan for how it wants to generate electricity here in the state for the next 20 years or more. The plan's over 200 pages long, and I can tell you it's not exactly what you'd call a page turner. But if you do wade through it, one thing in the plan jumps out at you, and it's very, very concerning. In it, Northwestern Energy, over the next 13 years, wants to build 7 new natural gas facilities comprised of 13 gas units to meet peak demand and deliver energy to Montana citizens. This is currently their choice of energy production, rather than adding new renewables to meet our projected needs. Northwestern Energy claims that because solar and wind are intermittent, they can't be used to meet peak demand, like what happens on hot afternoons in the summer or cold winter days or nights. We at 350 Montana and many other organizations, some here and allies in Montana, couldn't disagree more with this claim, and that's why we originally decided to hold this panel discussion. But something important happened just last week. On February 2nd, the Public Service Commission in Helena essentially put all stop on Northwest Energy's plan to build new gas-fired power plants. Please read about it in that handout we put in the program for you as you came in tonight. It's a victory for citizens of Montana and now gives all of us until December of 2018 to organize and influence the new plan Northwestern Energy must present to the PSC. And let's make sure that renewable energy and energy storage applications lead the way. So please read about this and be ready to act with us in the coming weeks, months, and years. 350 Montana does not advocate any one solution to the problem of how to meet peak demand, except to use renewables and storage capacity options for the solution, not climate-damaging fossil fuels, a path that's leading us to global climate catastrophe. Our panel tonight will discuss a menu of possible solutions using conservation strategies, renewable technologies, and storage advancements to meet this challenge, and how we as citizens can act now to let our legislative leaders, decision makers, and energy providers hear from us and support our demands for a renewable energy future. And when we switch, as we know we must, to clean, renewable electricity that's generated by all the wind and sun and flowing water we have here in Montana, then some of these ideas that you'll hear tonight, maybe even most of them, will be needed and will be used. Tonight we'll be getting into the tall grass of technology and the economics of renewables. Why? Well, because we at 350 Montana believe it's our moral imperative as humans to move as rapidly as possible from burning fossil fuels to renewable energy sources. Why? Because we know global warming is no longer a problem we can shrug off and pass to our kids and grandkids. Global warming is happening, and it's been happening. Here in Missoula, in Montana, across the nation, and everywhere else in the world. And in Montana, it's threatening the twin pillars of our economy, tourism and agriculture. We're watching the glaciers disappear from Glacier National Park. Winters, on average, are milder. There's less snowpack, a shorter ski and winter sports season, and most importantly, less runoff for agricultural irrigation, river recreation, and fishing in the late spring and early summer. Our fire and smoke season starts earlier. It's longer, more likely to burn our homes, and much more expensive to fight and manage than it used to be. You'll also remember that last summer, Yellowstone River, one of Montana's world-famous trout fishing and recreation corridors, was closed. Why? Well, because the water was so warm that parasites were killing the fish. This has never happened before. Climate change is here, and it's not still debatable, as our former Montana representative has suggested, or caused by sunspots, as one of our Montana senators states. Nor is it a Chinese hoax, as our new president, who will remain unnamed, has claimed. Politics is often about opinions, but climate change is about physics and facts. Everybody's entitled to their own opinions, but not their own facts, even the alternative facts. These facts, though, are not a reason to despair or stick our heads in the sand. They're reasons to act. And coming to this event tonight, through the winter storm that you encountered, is such an action. Thank you for taking the time and feeling the need. But please keep acting. Keep taking the time and keep feeling the need. The earth needs your attention, your commitment, and your willingness to act. And so does your family, and their kids, and their grandkids. Because of the dramatic drops in price for renewables and innovations in energy storage systems in the last decade, we can now save our planet's climate and our way of life for about the same dollars we're spending to wreck them. We have the technology, the money, and the workers to make this big change. We have enough time to make this change if we stop all delay now. The question that remains is, can we muster the will and take the actions needed? A recent bipartisan poll showed that over 2/3 of Montanans from every corner of the state, both women and men, young and old, want to move to renewables now. So let's get on with it. Thank you.